Hi everybody, it's Sarah. Really, it's me, it's Sarah from Missouri Star. And in today's tutorial, we're gonna make a quick and easy masquerade mask that you can use for Halloween. Sometimes you don't need to put a whole costume together, but you need just a little something to participate in all the festivities of the season. So we're gonna do that today. We have a simple version of our Halloween mask, and then we have a slightly fancy version that doesn't take too much long and really only takes maybe an hour tops to make. So really last minute, great addition to your costume. What are you going to need for this tutorial? Well, we're using the Skipja's Stonewashed XL yarn. That's a worsted weight, that's a number 4 medium yarn. And one skein of this will make about 3 different masks. So if you really need a bunch, you can go ahead and make them from one skein. We'll need scissors, we'll need a tapestry needle, and then our crochet hook for this project is an H8 5mm hook. So I'm using the Addy Comfort Grip hook that's got a little Teflon coating, so it's nice and slippery, moves along really quick. And the yarn from Skipja's is, I think 78% cotton. And then the extra color in here is a little bit of acrylic. So totally washable and dryable. You could make this and you could use it year after year or hand it off to somebody else that needs it. So those are our materials. And let's get started. I'm going to start with a slip knot, like we usually do. And we're going to chain 22. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22. All right, then we're going to make sure that this chain stays nice and flat. Usually if you just run your fingers back along the chain, you can feel the flat part under your thumb and the bumpy part on the back side of it. And that's sort of keeping it all straight. And then I'm going to bring it around so there's no twist in that chain. And I'm going to do a slip stitch into that very first chain. So your hook goes right into the heart of the chain, yarn over and pull through everything on your hook. That has created the first eye opening in our mask. Now we've got to make the other one. We're going to chain 1, and that is the little space that goes over the bridge of your nose. And now we're going to make another eye opening, another loop for your eyes. So we're going to chain 22, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then making sure that this chain stays nice and flat, we're going to slip stitch to the 22nd chain from the hook, not the 23rd, because we want that one stitch in between to cover the bridge of your nose. And if you're unsure, you can count backwards from your hook. That's totally fine. Remember that the loop on your hook doesn't count as a stitch. It's just the potential for the next stitch that you're going to make. So you want to start by counting that full chain underneath that forms that V. So that's the first stitch. So we can go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then you can see there's one stitch between my thumb and the other loop. So we go back to that 22nd stitch from our hook, right through the heart of that stitch, and slip stitch to join. And that, I'll get my hook out of here so you can see it. That's the core of our little mask. There's your the little eye loops that you'll peer out of. And now you're ready for round 1. So I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to do a single crochet in that same stitch. So right where we did the slip stitch, and it's a little fiddly, take your time with it, wiggle that hook through there, and finish your single crochet. Now you're going to do a single crochet into that chain 1 that exists between the eye loops, just like that. And now we're going to do a single crochet in every chain around that first eye loop. So there'll be 22 of those. And I'm just catching the top loop of the chain. You don't have to be fancy. You don't have to be a perfectionist with this. It's all right. It's just a little Halloween mask, right? So I'm just catching that top loop and I'm single crocheting my way around. So go ahead and do that. Single crochet around this eye loop and then meet me back here and I'll show you what's next. Once you've got your 22 single crochets done around that eye loop, you'll be on the underside. You'll be down here along the bottom of the mask. What we're going to do is single crochet in the bottom of that chain that exists between the two eye loops, just to form that bridge of the nose. And then you're on to the second eye loop. And then it's the same thing. One single crochet in each chain around, but you're only going to make 21 because the first single crochet that you made was part of this eye loop. So when you do these 21 plus that one that you started with, you'll have a total of 22 for this side. So go ahead and work your way around this second eye loop and then meet me on the other side to join and finish round 1. So now you're ready for round 2. Round 2 is a little different. We're going to do some shaping, but mostly just with our stitch height and some extra stitches. So for round 2 to start, we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. So that moves us over into that one stitch that covers the bridge of your nose. Then we're going to chain 1 and we're going to single crochet in that stitch. Then we're going to do half double crochet stitches, 1 in each of the next 5 stitches. So half double crochet starts with a yarn over, into the stitch, yarn over and bring up a loop. So you've got 3 loops on your hook now, yarn over and pull through all 3. We're going to do that again. Yarn over, into the stitch, yarn over and bring up a loop. So you have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3. We're going to do 3 more of those so that we have a total of 5. There we go. Now we're going to start making double crochet stitches and we're going to do 2 double crochet stitches in each of the next 12 stitches. So double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over and bring up a loop. So you have 3, yarn over and pull through just 2. So you have 2 left, yarn over and pull through 2. We're going to do that again in the same stitch. So that's 2 double crochets in the same stitch. We're going to do that 11 more times for a total of 12 pairs of double crochet stitches. This will get us around the outside edge of this eye loop, and it really helps to build out the shape of the mask. So go ahead and do those 12 pairs of double crochets and meet me back here. So you've got your 12 pairs of double crochets. We're going to move back into half doubles for the next 5 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you're back to that single crochet across the bridge of the nose. You do 1 single crochet and then you're going to repeat everything that you did for this eye loop on the other side. 5 half double crochets and then 12 pairs of double crochets. Remember, that's 2 double crochets in the same stitch. You're going to do that 12 times, then 5 more half double crochets, and then you'll meet me back here to join the round. If you haven't yet, you want to visit MissouriQuiltCo.com or the link in the description below where you can pick up your copy of the pattern or you can pick up a kit with everything that you need to make this project. Okay, so for round 3, we're going to chain 1, single crochet in that same stitch. Again, this is just that one stitch over the bridge of your nose. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 12 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we're going to do 2 single crochets together in each of the next 4 stitches. There's 1, that's got 2 single crochets. There's 2, that's got 2 single crochets. 3 and 4. Now we're going to do my favorite part, and we're going to make the strap as part of this round. We're going to single crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to chain 61 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It takes a while. 30. 40. 50. 60, 61. Now don't worry if you lose count a little bit along the way. As long as the strap is about 15 inches long, you should be just fine. Yep. So you want a strap that's about 15 inches long without having to stretch it too much to make it 15 inches long, if you know what I mean. So if you lost count, don't worry about it. Just keep going until your chain is about 15 inches long when it's nice and relaxed. And then what you're going to do is single crochet your way back along that chain. So we're going to, remember the loop on your hook never counts as anything. We're going to skip the first chain, and we're going to go to the second chain from the hook, just under that top loop, and we're going to single crochet. And we're going to do that all the way back along this chain, which will take longer than it took to make this little chain. So go ahead and work your way back along this chain and meet me when you get back here to the edge of the mask. All right, so I have one more single crochet to do in this chain. And now we're back to the mask. So I'm going to single crochet in the next stitch on the mask. And look at that. That's your strap all made, ready to go. Now we're going to do the mirror of what we did on this side. And we're going to do 2 single crochets in each of the next 4 stitches. There's 1. There's 2. I'm putting 2 in each stitch, remember. That's 3. That's 4. And then I'm going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 12 stitches. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now that should have you back to the single crochet that goes in the middle over the bridge of your nose. And if you're off by a stitch, just keep going until you get there. Nobody's gonna know. It's all right. So then you're just going to repeat all of this along the other side. 1 single crochet in each of the next 12 stitches, 2 single crochets in each of the next 4 stitches, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, chain 61, single crochet your way back, finish the other side of that eye loop. Again, all the details for this are in the pattern, which you can get at MissouriQuiltCo.com or by following the link in the description below. Go ahead and work around this second eye opening and meet me back over here to finish off this mask. All right, so I've gone all the way around this second eye opening. I have 1 more single crochet to do, and then a slip stitch to that first single that we did, just like that. And that's our basic little mask. I'm going to snip my yarn over and pull through till the tail pops out. And that's our little mask. You're going to want to weave in the ends. Get your tapestry needle and make sure you flip it over and weave in on the back side. So I'm going to go down through this stitch. And this is one of the things that I love about crochet is there is so much to the body of every crochet stitch that you don't have to be really precious about where you run your needle. You can pretty much just poke that needle into the body of any stitch and it'll hide. So I'm just working about 1 to 1.5 inches of yarn down into the body of my stitches on the back side of my work. I'm going to change direction a couple times as I go along, and then that feels pretty good, so I'm just going to snip it. And I'm going to weave in the tail from where we started. Same thing, thread your tapestry needle, and don't be too precious about where you're threading that tapestry needle because it'll all hide inside your stitches. You just want to make sure that you weave in about 1 to 1.5 inches of yarn and that you change direction at least once. Changing direction just helps to put a little more tension on the yarn and helps to hold it in place so it's less likely to wiggle its way out. All right, so the last thing you want to do is block your mask. Why? Well, I mean, it's kind of a curly floppy mess right now, right? You don't really have to worry about the straps because those are there just for you to tie. So they don't need to stay flat or anything, but this, as it is a little unruly. So you want to get it wet, and you don't really have to use any kind of special wool wash or anything with this because it's just cotton and acrylic. We just want to sort of reset it. So just let it soak in a bowl of room temperature water for about 5 or 6 minutes. Give it a good squeeze to get most of that water out, and then just lay your mask down with the wrong side facing you. So the right side is down, and that'll help it to lie a little bit flatter. If you have a clothing steamer, you can do this really quick with a clothing steamer. So you just lay it flat down on your blocking board or on your ironing board or a spare bed. Lay it down nice and flat, hit it with your clothing steamer, and then you're ready to go to the ball. Included in this pattern is also a second version that gets a little bit fancier, so you can take your extra time with that if you want to. It's just that third round that we did with the single crochets has some extra fancy stitches, so you can do that too if you want. But this nice simple one I think is really great. It will add that extra little something to, you know, a little superhero costume or whatever you need to be this Halloween. I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial and stitching along with me. Remember, you can pick up your kit at MissouriQuiltCo.com or at the link in the description below. Make sure that you subscribe so that you always know when we have more fun yarny adventures happening here at Missouri Star, and I will see you in our next tutorial. Happy crocheting!